Hi, I'm Roberta Fernandez, and I'd like to spend a few minutes with you before your session so that you can understand how hypnosis works. And that requires learning a bit about how your mind functions. Your mind is divided into three distinct parts that have very different responsibilities. First, there is the conscious mind, and this is where you're functioning right now. About 5% of your total mind's capacity, it is analytical and logical. It contains your short-term memory and is the home of your shoulds, affirmations, and willpower. The other 95% of your mind is comprised of two parts, the unconscious and the subconscious. In our work together, we won't address the unconscious mind. This is the part of your mind responsible for things like controlling the strength or weakness of your immune system and your automatic bodily functions such as your heart beating or your eyes blinking. The subconscious is emotional and home to your wants, values and beliefs, rules, filters, long-term memory and life stories, intuition, and most importantly for the hypnosis process, your imagination. The conscious mind does four things. First, it analyzes. It's the part of your mind that looks at a problem, analyzes it, and then figures out how to solve it. The rational part of your mind must give you a reason why you behave in a particular fashion. If you don't have a reason why you do the things you do, you can become anxious, nervous, or frustrated. Many times, the reason the rational mind gives you about your behavior isn't even original. For example, an overweight person will say, "I'm overweight because I eat when I'm bored or I eat when I'm nervous." But chances are, before this person gained that weight, they heard someone say, "I'm just overweight because I eat when I'm nervous." The third part of your conscious mind is willpower. You might say, "I'm going to put down this pack of cigarettes and nothing on this earth will make me start smoking again." Well, we all know how long that might last. Just until willpower weakens, and then the old habit comes back again. You choose willpower as a tool to use in many cases to reach your goals. But invariably, willpower is the wrong tool. And when it fails you, your rational mind tells you, you failed, so you must be weak. The last part of the conscious mind is working memory. This is what we need every day. How do I find my way to work? What's my spouse's name? My phone number? You need your memory, your working memory, to get through the day. Bottom line, your conscious mind is very logical, very analytical, and frequently wrong. Now, where the real you lives is in the level below the conscious mind, the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is awesomely powerful. It can make you into anything you would like to be. Rich and famous, thin, happy, or sad. To help you understand how the subconscious mind works, I'd like you to think of it as a computer. Now, if you go out and buy a new computer and ask it to do something, it probably won't do much for you. This is because the computer doesn't have any programming in it yet. A computer can only operate based on the programming that's placed in it, and it has no choice but to operate on the programming that's in it. You also know that if you change to update your program, update your computer, it can no longer operate on the old programming. It must now operate on the new information that's been placed into it. And this is the way your subconscious mind works. You program your subconscious computer every day of your life throughout your life experiences. When you're born, you're mostly unprogrammed, and then every day you add a little bit. Your computer must, and I underline must, make you into the type of person that it perceives you to be, based on all the programming that's been placed into it and will continue to be placed into it until you die. For example, if that computer of yours, based on its programming, says you're fat, you're fat. If it says you're thin, or a smoker, a success, or a failure, then that is what you will be. This programming has been placed in there from many sources over time, and it must operate on all of this programming. It stores all your memories since the day you were born, everything that has ever happened to you that you have felt, heard, seen, smelled, or tasted is locked permanently into the memory banks of your subconscious mind. In hypnosis, we can access that memory bank and we can actually travel back in time. For example, in regression hypnosis, we can travel back and relive your first birthday or your birth, and it's actually just like you're there. You never forget anything in the subconscious. Only at the conscious level do we forget. The second programming we have in our subconscious minds is habits. There are three kinds of habits. You have some good ones and you have some bad ones. But most of your habits aren't good or bad. Most of your habits are utilitarian. You automatically respond in a certain fashion when something happens. For example, when the phone rings, you don't look at it and wonder what it is. You automatically pick it up and answer it. Habits can be very challenging to change. The next thing in your subconscious mind is emotion. The conscious mind cannot deal with emotions in any way because that's not part of its job. Anytime you need emotion, your conscious mind parts like the Red Sea and you deal with a particular situation from your sometimes irrational, juvenile-like, but highly intelligent subconscious mind. Then, when the situation's over and your analytical conscious mind takes over again, you might find yourself thinking, why did I say that? Why did I do that? It was so stupid. And your subconscious mind will be laughing. Yeah, but it was so much fun. Sometimes emotions can get us into big trouble. The next area of your subconscious mind, and probably the most important part of it, is your protective mind. It must protect you against danger, real or imagined. Anything imagined by the subconscious mind is just as real as if it were actually happening. The subconscious mind cannot tell the difference. There was a woman who at 5'1" weighed very close to 300 pounds. She said she had an eating problem, but I suspected it was more likely that an event in her past had caused her subconscious mind to protect her by making her heavy. Indeed, what happened with this woman, and she couldn't recall this with her conscious mind, was when she was just a 6-year-old, her stepfather abused her. She told her mother, but her mother didn't believe her. She felt guilty as if she had done something wrong. But she didn't get heavy at that point. When she was in high school, she was a little more promiscuous than she felt good about. She thought the boys in high school were just trying to hurt her. But that didn't cause her to become heavy either. When she was 24, she married her white knight, the man who could do no wrong. On the second day of their honeymoon, he decided to cleanse his soul and show her just how much he loved her. He told her that when he was just a young guy, 18, 19 years old, and in the Air Force, he used to pick up women, use them, and throw them away. Well, you can imagine how her subconscious mind reacted to that. The subconscious mind that stores everything went back into its memory banks and said, the stepfather hurt you very badly. The boys in high school were trying to hurt you very badly. And now this one man that you could trust above every other man says he did this to women. Well, then he certainly has the capability of doing it to you. And instantly it made this decision. Men hurt women. Therefore, I must protect you against men. Now, the subconscious couldn't teach her karate or buy her a gun, so it protected her in the only way it could. She began gaining weight rapidly. Soon she became very fat. Men no longer had an interest in her, and she was protected. This is how the subconscious protects us sometimes, in a way that we would prefer it didn't. And lastly, although the subconscious is powerful, it is also the laziest part of your mind. It doesn't like to do the work that's required to accept positive suggestions, to give you change in areas where you would like to have change. Positive suggestions can be challenging things to get into the subconscious. On the other hand, negative suggestions go in like a hot knife through butter because it doesn't take any work to accept a negative suggestion. For example, take a very heavy person who's just gotten out of the shower. He's standing in front of a mirror, toweling off, saying to himself, "Boy, am I fat." Now, those words go right into the subconscious mind and it says, "Yeah, that matches the programming that I have in here. That matches my perception of you." It easily accepts that suggestion, so the perception of that individual being fat becomes stronger and they become heavier. On the other hand, if that same heavy person stands in front of that mirror and says some affirmations like, "I'm thin, I'm trim, and I'm attractive," the subconscious mind sits back and says, "Nope, that doesn't match the programming," and it's not allowed in. To have change effectively happen, you've got to get it down into your subconscious, your computer, in order to change that programming. But here's the challenge. There's one more role of your conscious mind, and that role is that of a gatekeeper. We call this the critical factor of the conscious mind, or more simply, an identity door. Think of your conscious mind as an employee of your subconscious, and it's very good at doing its job. That job is to stop, like a red traffic light, any suggestion of positive change that we give ourselves or receive from an outside source. The critical factor says, "Well, this person wants to stop smoking. Can I let this suggestion in?" Now remember, if that suggestion goes into the subconscious mind, it must happen. But your subconscious mind says, "Hey, wait a minute. He's been smoking for 20 years. Besides, I'd have to do so many years of reprogramming and I just don't feel up to it. I don't want to do it, so reject that suggestion." Well, that's the critical factor's boss talking. So the critical factor of the conscious mind turns that red light on or closes that door shut, and it rejects the suggestion so it cannot go into the subconscious. Now you only have one other place to take the idea of not smoking, and that is to hand it over to your friend willpower, who resides in your conscious mind. And you know how long willpower lasts. How many diets have you been on? How many times have you tried to stop smoking? So, how do we get suggestions into that subconscious mind? This is where hypnosis comes into the picture. Hypnosis bypasses the critical factor or opens the door to your deeper sense of identity. How far that door opens is completely up to you. Let me explain a bit more. When you are in the state of hypnosis, the theta state, or some call it trance, your body is very relaxed. However, the deeper you go into hypnosis, the more your subconscious mind becomes alert. In the deepest levels of hypnosis, your subconscious mind is 200 to 300 more percent alert than you are right now at this very moment. And even though a hypnotist may use the word sleep to take you into hypnosis, you are far from being asleep. You are extremely alert, probably more alert and clear-minded than you have ever been before. This is because the subconscious is in control, and it is the most powerful part of your mind. When you receive a suggestion in hypnosis, your critical factor or identity door must make one of three choices about allowing that suggestion to get through or not. The first choice would be, "Hey, I like that suggestion. I know that one's going to work." The conscious allows the suggestion to go into your subconscious mind, and change must happen. Or the suggestion might be something against your morals or beliefs, or perhaps maybe even just feels a little bit uncomfortable to you. The conscious mind's choice would then be to automatically close the door and not allow the suggestion to enter. There'd be no change. Or perhaps, as the third choice, you're just neutral about the suggestion. Whatever. and the conscious mind would close the door. Hypnosis is a state of 100% consent by you. You must allow things to happen. The only people that can't be hypnotized are the ones who don't want to be. You can stop any suggestion from happening with the slightest thought if you don't want it. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You don't need me to go into a beautiful, deep state of hypnosis. And you certainly don't need me to give you suggestions of positive change in any area of your life. You can do these things all by yourself. The reason people come to me is because they don't know how to do it. I'm a certified consulting hypnotist, but all that means is that I act as a guide or a coach to help you use hypnotic suggestions in the best way possible for you. It is your subconscious mind that will handle all the details of helping you affect the positive changes you seek. I can show you how to place yourself in a beautiful state of hypnosis and experience the physical relaxation and the mental alertness. I can help you stay there until we're finished. If at any time you don't want to be in this beautiful, relaxed state, you will emerge immediately to your normal state of awareness. If you accept the suggestions given to you with the choice of, I like it, I know it's going to work, then you'll have change in the way you want it. If you choose one of the other choices, you'll fail. I can never force a suggestion into your mind, as you are the one who is in total control. I have a hypnotic contract with all of my clients. My part of the contract is this: I promise I will always treat you in a courteous, professional manner and keep you safe in our sessions together. I promise to use the therapies and suggestions that will work in the very best way for why you've decided to come see me. Your part of the contract is this: I have trust and confidence in you, so from this moment on, I will instantly do what you suggest, knowing full well that I can just as quickly remove any suggestion you give if I choose to do so, because I am always in control. I'm confident that you're going to enjoy our sessions together. If there's something that I haven't covered in this talk or on my website, and I encourage you to read about the power of your mind on my website, or just something you'd like to know more about or have questions about, make some notes and we can discuss it when you come in. Hypnosis is a powerful way to change your life. I know because it changed mine in a big way. Thank you for taking the time to listen today, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you at our first session.